How did we get to this situation?
At Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, delegates from 44 allied and associate countries arrived for the opening of the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference.
From the Second World War right up until 1970, the major currencies of the world were linked to gold under the so-called Bretton Woods system. Inflation was generally very low throughout these decades, but excessive US government spending and easy monetary policies in the 1960s put pressure on the dollar, and in 1971, President Richard Nixon ended the backing of the dollar with gold.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
Ever since 1971, our currencies have been unbacked. It's known as fiat money, meaning it is what we say it is. Nothing else is behind our paper currency. Following the breaking of the link with gold, and especially after the 1973 Arab-Israeli War,
the energy crisis became a monetary crisis.
But since then, the situation's got worse.
Escalating prices and an inflation in violence which matches the inflation of monetary values.
Inflation surged in most developed countries, reaching as high as 25%, for example, in the UK in 1975.
Too many families living in overcrowded conditions in dilapidated rooms.
The solution to inflation was hard to find, but in the end it was recognised that it had to be high interest rates. But we live in an economy where, rather than interest rates being set by the market like the price of food or consumer goods, we have central banks acting as central planning committees fixing interest rates and setting them chronically too low, with the result that the demand to borrow, for example to buy housing, most of the time is much higher than it should be. Debt started increasing at unprecedented rates and would continue doing so for the next generation.